Bless you, little children. Have a great time learning. To the uninitiate, yung mga hindi na masyadong nakakaalam, nakakaintindi, God doesn't dwell in temples. Kasi ang naisip nila, na tama naman, He is the Lord of heaven and earth. Mas malaki pa siya sa kalawakan. Mas malaki pa siya sa universe. He cannot be contained in a material structure. Because He's Lord of heaven and earth, right? And yet, He chose to dwell in a human body. Ang Diyos natin, napakalaki eh. Sobrang laki, malaki pa sa universe, sa kalawakan. Lahat ng bagay ay nasa sa Kanya. Kaya ang tingin ng iba, which is a heresy, tingin ng iba, hindi mo siya pwedeng ilagay sa isang building, sa bread and wine, hindi mo pwedeng ilagay. No? Yun yung pagkakaintindi nila. But remember, God chose to dwell in a human body. He can, and He does, inhabit the elements of the Eucharist. Because He's a God of wonders. He can and does inhabit a building. Because He's the God of the impossible. He can and does choose to make His abode in the heart of the worst sinner. Ang ginamit ni Jesus dun sa nung sinabi niyang, in my Father's house there are many dwelling places. Sa ibang translation, in my Father's house are many mansions. Kaya tayo, naglalaway tayo, pagdating sa langit, magkakaroon ako ng sarili kong mansyon. Dito, barong-barong yung tinitirahan ko. Pagdating ko sa langit, naku, sige. Magkakaroon pa ako ng maraming servants, at mabubuhay ako ng marangya katulad ng gusto ko. That's not what Jesus means. The word that He uses for dwelling place, sa salitang Griego, oikos, which means mutual indwelling, mutual abiding, hindi solo, hindi pang sarili lang o pang isang tao lang. Oikos, that's where we get the English word economy. Economy is not controlled by one person. Maybe he can control a big part of it, but economy is economy of a nation, of a country. Diyan din ang gagaling yung salitang, yung Greek word na oikumene, saan ang gagaling yung salita nating ecumenical, which is common. In fact, oikumene means our common home. So, sa kaharian ng Diyos, walang makasarili, walang individualistic, pamilya. Ang kaharian ng Diyos, pamilya. Hindi pwedeng solo lang ako. Ayokong may mansyon ako, ayokong puntahan yung kapitbahay ko. Ayoko ng interaction between me and them. Gusto ko, solo ko lang, buong araw, magne-Netflix ako. Right? No, you cannot live like that in the kingdom of God. Cannot. In the Father's house, there are many dwelling places where all of us interact with each other and have a relationship with each other, and we abide in each other, and we have a mutual indwelling. Kaya parang di ba? Sabi ni Jesus, nung kinikwento niyan, tinanong siya ni Philip, just show us the Father. It'll be enough for us. Sabi ni Jesus, you don't understand. He who has seen me has seen the Father. They mutually indwell each other to the point of being one, being identical. Kaya makita mo yung isa, nakita mo na rin yung isa. That's how one they are living together. Ang ginawa ng Panginoon, He initiated a reconciliation with us through Jesus Christ so that we can dwell with Him, so that we can oikos with Him, so that we can have that mutual indwelling with Him. He tabernacled, He moved in with and among us. Tulad ng sinabi ko dati, ang Diyos, habang panahon na, forever He will be human. Forever He will be with us. Hindi na siya babalik sa pagiging espiritu lang. He is human in Jesus Christ. And He came to us, nanaog mula sa langit. Di ba? Pumunta sa atin so that we don't have to go to our idea of where He is, heaven. Where He is here. Behold, the tabernacle of God is among men. Nandito na siya. I want to establish that. Okay? Nandito na siya. We don't have to go where He is because He came to us. Nandito na siya, kasama natin. Now, again, it's not wrong to seek a better life and a better place than where we are right now, which is imperfect. But it's wrong to think with individualistic motives. Bakit ako gusto ko ng mas magandang lugar? Para sa akin. Hindi para sa lahat. Di ba? Dapat ang gugustuhin natin, yung mabuti para sa lahat, hindi lang para sa atin. Kasi ganun ang kaharian ng Diyos. Common good. It's not very Christ-like to greedily drool over the promise of a mansion for myself alone. Not very God-like, not very Christ-like. Sabi ng at palagi kong kinuquote sa Hebrews chapter 11, last or second to the last verse, sabi ganon, pagkatapos banggitin yung mga bayani ng pananampalataya, the heroes of the faith in the Old Testament, it says, God was pleased with them, but not one of them, kahit isa sa kanila, not one of them received the promise. Not before we could all together enjoy the blessing. The blessing is not for individuals, the blessing is for everyone, corporately. There I commanded the blessing in Zion, in the Father's house, where not individual people dwell, but people as one dwell. Just like the Trinity, who is a picture of this oikos, of this fellowship. Not one of us lives for himself, sabi ni San Pablo sa Romans chapter 14. And not one of us dies for himself. Sa Tagalog, anong kinakanta natin sa Tagalog? Walang sino man ang nabubuhay para sa sarili lamang. Walang sino man ang namamatay para sa sarili lamang. Meron kasing ibang gospel, ibang mensahe, na inaakit tayo sa offer na prosperity gospel. Milyonaryo ka ngayon, tapos may mansyon ka pagkatapos ng buhay dito. Ang sarap nga naman, hindi ba? Right? Prosperity, material prosperity right here, right now, and after you die, you will have a mansion all for yourself in heaven. False gospel that entices us with a future heavenly mansion and present prosperity for individuals. Very wrong, very false gospel. Sabi ni San Pablo, the kingdom of God is not eating and drinking. It's not self-indulgence. It's not individualistic reward by the world's standards. Meron ngang sabi nga ni San Pablo rin, sa isa sa mga sulat niya, sabi niya, merong mga naniniwala at nagkakalat ng ibang ebanghelyo. Ang sinasabi nila, godliness is a means of gain. Pagkakakitaan daw, pakikinabangan daw, ang ebanghelyo, ang gospel. And then he goes on and says, ang totoo niyan, tama yun, no? Hindi lang means of gain, but means of great gain. 1 Timothy chapter 6. Maybe you can show it on screen. It is great gain if it's accompanied by contentment. Not greed. Not self-gain. So, the Father's house is a symbol of our fellowship with Him. Which is this. This is the Father's house. The church is the Father's house. And our symbol of our relationship with Him, which cannot be complete without our relationship with each other. Hindi natin pwedeng sabihin, mahal natin ang Diyos, I'm a Christian, and Christianity is a relationship, not a religion, because I have a relationship with God. No. Relationship with God is not complete if we don't have a relationship with our brothers. And sabi ni Jesus, I'm preparing a place for you there in my Father's house. Actually, it's really more like we are being prepared for that. Tayo yung sinasanay para tumira dun sa lugar na freely available and offered to everyone. So we are being prepared for that. What are we being prepared for? To mutually dwell with God and with His people. Now, what is the Father's house? Naisip ko, tingnan yung istorya ng prodigal son. Yung istorya ng prodigal son, dun sa loob ng bahay ng tatay ng magkapatid sila, di ba? Prodigal son, at saka yung nakakatandang kapatid niya. Yung sa loob ng bahay, alam natin, no? There's prosperity, there's love, there's acceptance. Tama? Nung bumalik yung prodigal son, ang ginawa ng ama, he had compassion on his son. And he forgave him. And he accepted him. Kasi sa tahanan ng Diyos, lahat kasama. Lahat welcome. Inclusive. So in the Father's house, we see compassion, there's forgiveness, there's acceptance, there's inclusion. There's love in the Father's house. Outside, nung umalis yung anak, yung prodigal son, nung umalis siya, ano ang nangyari sa labas ng bahay? Merong greed. Tama? Ano ba sa Tagalog greed? Katakawan? Ano yan? Kasakiman. Aalis ako sa labas ng bahay ng tatay ko, kasakiman. May pera ako eh. Di ba? Pinakinabangan ko yung bahay ng tatay ko, yung tahanan ng tatay ko, pero umalis ako. Kaya ang tingin ko, magkakaroon ako ng kasiyahan, kagalakan. Well, there's greed, kasakiman. Meron ding panandaliang kaligayahan, passing pleasures. Pero, sa panandalian lang. Pagkatapos nun, ano nangyari? Yung anak, he felt emptiness. Right? Not only that, he experienced misery. And he was in fear. Yan ang outside of the Father's house. There's greed, there's self-centeredness, there's passing pleasures, there's emptiness, there's misery, and there is fear. Biglang natakot siya dun sa tatay niya kasi nasa labas siya eh. Nawala siya dun sa fellowship eh. Nakalimutan na niya na yung tatay niya compassionate. Buti na lang, nagising siya, sinabi niya, babalik na lang ako. Kahit manilbihan na lang ako, isa na lang ako sa mga alipin niya. Also, outside of the Father's house, is what we can see in the case of the older brother. The older brother, tandaan natin, nakatira siya ng matagal dun sa bahay ng tatay niya. Pero nung nakita niya na tinanggap yung nanumbalik niyang kapatid, pagkatapos waldasin ang yaman na ipinamana sa kanya, nainggit siya. Yun ang nasa labas ng bahay ng tahanan ng Panginoon. Inggit, jealousy. What else? Grumbling. Tandaan natin sa labas ng tahanan ng Panginoon yan Hindi sa loob. Sa loob ng tahanan ng Panginoon, compassion, prosperity, forgiveness, acceptance, inclusion. If we have the attitude of the older brother, we may say we dwell in the Father's house, but we're really outside of it. If we have jealousy, if we grumble, if we're bitter against our brother, whom God has accepted, if we hate them, and if we have an irreconcilable us and them attitude. Pag iniisip natin, katulad nung panganay na anak, pambira ako, nanilbihan ako mabait ako masipag ako, masunurin ako. Tapos yung anak mong winaldas yung yaman mo, tatanggapin mo, hindi ako pwedeng tumira sa iisang bahay kasama niya. Hindi ako pwedeng oikos, mutual indwelling with him. And when we have that attitude, we find ourselves outside the Father's house. At gano'n na nga ang nangyari dun sa nakakatandang kapatid, di ba? Nagkaroon ng party sa bahay ng tatay niya. Anong ginawa niya? Nag-walk out. Hindi dahil pinaalis siya, kundi dahil galit siya. Ayaw niyang makisama. Ayaw niyang makihalubilo. Dahil sa tingin niya, tama ako mali kayo Kahit yung tatay ko mali At nagko-complain. Mas magaling ako, mas marunong ako, mas marami akong alam, which is the spirit of the age today. We need to beware of that. People think they know better. And people think their complaint is justifiable. At pag hindi nasunod, alis ako. The attitude of the older brother. We have that attitude, we find ourselves outside the Father's house. Always remember that and beware. Tapos, minsan, ganito pa yung attitude natin. Ngayon, hindi na tayo ganito ngayon, no? Pero noon, katulad tayo ng older brother pag merong matagal nang hindi nag-a-attend sa simbahan natin, tapos babalik, ang tingin natin may condemnation. Di ba? Ba't nandito ka? Anong ginagawa mo dito? Tagal mong nawala sa amin. Umalis ka dito. Not welcoming like the father, but rejecting like the older son. Those who want to come back to the Father's house, just remember this. The house belongs to the father, not the older son. Hindi pag-aari ng panganay na anak yung bahay. Yung tatay ang may-ari. At siya, tumatanggap ng kahit sinong gustong manumbalik. That's who our Father is. Ito pa yung sinabi, no? Sabi ang ginawa ng prodigal son, sabi niya, give me the part of the estate that belongs to me. Actually, hindi naman sa kanya yun talaga, no? Pero, ang gusto niya sabihin sa tatay niya, hindi ako makahintay na mamatay ka na. Gusto ko na kunin yung mana ko ngayon. That's what he actually was saying to the father. But, let us not seek our share, our individual share of the kingdom. Let us not seek to get our own individual share. Kasi nga wala sa harian ng Diyos. But seek to dwell in your Father's house. Your Father's Okay. Ang sinabi naman nung tatay dun sa panganay niyang anak, kasi yung panganay niyang anak, nung bumalik yung kapatid niya, na inggit, di ba? Sabi nga ng pambihira, ako kasama mo. Araw-araw, itong ilang taon, buong buhay ko, nandito ako, kasama ka, nanilbihan ako sa'yo. Pero itong anak mo, isang anak mo, winaldas yung mana niya, tapos bumalik, tapos binigyan mo ng party. Di ba, pinagkatay mo ng nilagang baka. Nilaga, hindi, lechon baka. Nilaga. Malay natin, baka may nilaga rin doon, di ba? Lechon baka. Ako kahit malinggit na lechon manok, hindi mo ko binigyan. Ano sinabi ng tatay sa kanya? This is what you don't realize, living with me. All I have is yours. All I have is yours. Ang hirap sa atin, naiinggit tayo sa mga bagay na meron na tayo. Meron na tayo nun. Kaya nga sabi kanina, di ba? Godliness is great gain if with contentment. Sino dito ang nakaiwan na ng kanilang cellphone sa bahay? Umalis kayo na iwan niyo yung cellphone niyo. Lahat tayo, di ba? Merong isang study, nagsabi doon, yung feeling daw natin, pag nalaman natin, uy, naiwan yung cellphone ko, yung panic, kapareho daw ng parang may mahal tayo sa buhay na na-aksidente. Ganun daw katindi. But anyway, it's trivia, no? But anyway, tapos, minsan naiwan natin talaga, minsan, nasa bag pala natin. Nasa bulsa pala natin. Ako minsan, nasa kilikili ko pala. Tapos hinahanap, nasa cellphone ko, nasa kilikili ko pala. Hindi lang yun, no? Susi, wallet. Sa mga nagdadrive, lisensya. Di ba? O kaya, yung pera natin, iwan natin. Tapos, maya-maya, malaman natin, pambira, nasa bulsa ko lang pala. Nung isang araw lang nagkanda, panik ako. Hinahanap ko yung cellphone. Yun pala, nilagay ko na dun sa sasakyan ko. Para siguradong hindi ko makalimutan. Nakalimutan ko na sinigurado ko palang hindi ko makalimutan. Ganyan talaga ang tumatanda, no? But what we don't realize is we frantically look for something that we already have all along, all the while. Ano pa ang hinahanap natin? Nandito na daw. Ba't pa tayo titingin sa malayo? Sabi ni Moses, who will go to the heavens for us, beyond the sea for us, to get what we need? No, it's right there, in your mouth and in your heart. It's right in the Father's house. What I have is yours. Yours for the taking. Yours for the experiencing. Yours for the living. Hindi mo kailangan mainggit sa kapatid mo. Meron ka niyan. Bago pa siya mo bumalik, meron ka na niyan. Hindi mo lang ina-avail. Yan ang problema. So may we learn a lesson from that. Nakalimutan natin, pero hawak pala natin. And we keep looking for things which are already in our hands. And what does it give us? Stress, heart attack, panic, right? Masisira ang araw mo, sisigawan mo yung asawa mo, mga anak mo, mga kasama mo, mga kaibigan mo. Yung pala, hawak-hawak mo yung cellphone mo. Right? Hawak-hawak mo. Ganon din yung ibang matatanda. Yung salamin nila, nasa ulo pala. Di ba? Papagalitan nyo, sino kumuha ng salamin ko? Oh, sino? Papaluin ko yan . Ang sinasabi ko pag may ganon para makita mo, para mahanap mo, isuot mo yung salamin mo. Para mahanap mo yung salamin mo. But anyway, what we already have, sometimes we get too stressed and we're bent out of shape because we think we don't have what we do already have. Let us realize that Surely goodness and loving kindness follow us if we dwell in the house of God. Surely. Yeah. The house of God, the home of God, where the Trinity in unity dwells, where we can participate in their community of love, of the way it is in the kingdom of our God.